Hello, patrons. It's Sunday, May 28th, and this is your Cup of Jones. Hey everybody, Brandon Jones here. I hope you had a wonderful May. I'm here to update you before the month is finally out with a new Cup of Jones about Easy Allies and all of the exciting things that are going on. There's exciting stuff with our Patreon. There's exciting stuff in the industry. There's going to be more exciting stuff that you're going to find out that Easy Allies is working on in the coming weeks and months. But we're 2 weeks out from E3. May has been an incredible month. I'm an E3 judge this year, which you've heard me harp on a lot about, but has been very exciting. And so E3 is going to be very similar to how we did last year. E3 is also going to be very different from how we did last year. So I want to get into that. I want to get into some of our goals, and I want to talk about some of the other cool things going on at Easy Allies. So this episode might be a little rambly, a little short compared to the Q&A ones, but I will be getting to a Q&A soon. I will be getting to an editorial soon, and I will be producing other episodes of Cup of Jones very soon because I was working on other things, and now I'm working on this. We hit our 44K goal on Patreon. We have a brand new goal created by Mr. Kyle Bossman called Box Peak. It is a show, a 10-episode show, I believe, season that he is going to produce. So this will not be very different from a lot of things, kind of similar to retrospectives, where it's just like a one-off. Like we do something, hopefully we get to a point where we're producing more than 1 or 2 retrospectives a year. But we have a specific goal that has been met. That again, we have to wait until the first of the next month to know if we've actually met it, because some of the goals that we've had have been kind of symbolic, you know, like Trailer Jones, there isn't necessarily, which we'll get to, our 45K goal, there isn't necessarily a budget associated with that, but I definitely wanted to put that at a tier. I wanted to put that at arm's reach, because that will be a lot of work on top of the work that I'm doing already, but it'll be worth it because it shows our community wants it. It shows that we have a strong enough community to hit a goal like 45K, which we have also hopefully maybe hit, we won't know, for another week, but very exciting that we are hitting these, regardless of whether we actually meet them in the month of June. But Box Peak, which I will do my best job to explain, considering I'm not Kyle Bossman, that this is his show that he created, that he brought to us. We always talk about, you know, potentially what we could do. You know, many ideas have come and gone about what could be our 42, 43, 44, 45K goal. And Kyle showed up at a meeting one time. I believe actually pitched it to me personally one time, came by and was working on something here on the PC, here in the garage, and pitched Box Peak, and I laughed through the entire pitch. So if you're familiar with a lot of the art that Kyle has done, Kyle is very expressive in his art. Kyle's art has a very particular style, which I really like. And it's very simple. I think it looks best in black and white. And he's basically just going to draw a bunch of characters, obviously doing lots of expressions and funny things, and then cut them out and put them on, you know, popsicle sticks or pencils and parade them around. I've offered my puppeteering services on the show. I don't know if he'll take them. It would be fun to go over to his place and, you know, move little sticks around. It would be fun to like be like a crowd in the back, just like, boo, yay. But so he's going to work on that. We're getting some original stuff for that. I don't know what he's talked about as far as like what we're art-wise, not equipment-wise, but we are paying some people outside of Easy Allies to do some artistic work on the show, so that'll be exciting. So there's money in that. And there's also a camera that we're going to be producing that is good at shooting that specific type of thing, shooting small objects close and focusing and making sure everything looks better than it should. And so that is going to be the first time that we're doing something specifically scripted and creative, other than, you know, some of the betting special stuff that we've done, and Easy Update, I'm sure, has some specific, like, Bloodborne musical-esque segments. But I really like Box Peak, and I was really excited about the idea, and I want you, as a patron of Easy Allies, to know that this is part of an initiative. Trailer Jones is not. It's more of us just talking, but it is a different show from other stuff that we're doing. Box Peak is very different. Box Peak is not a podcast. It's not us just sitting around talking. All of the allies will be in the show, along with other people that we hope to bring in, you know, to be a part of it. But it's scripted. It's narrative. It tells a story. It stands on its own. I would be excited and thrilled if people actually found out about BoxPeak that did not know about Easy Allies and discovered us that way through BoxPeak. Very similar to how people found Kyle as Final Bossman, and I'm sure there were lots of people who were regular viewers of Final Bossman who, if you told them Final Bossman was a game trailer, they'd be like, oh, I didn't even know. Like, I just like watching that show. I think Kyle's funny. And so I think Kyle is funny. I think that concept is funny. I know something potentially works in comedy when completely unprovoked by Kyle, I just keep thinking of funny ideas that you can do in BoxPeak and imagining like the actual rules around the game and stuff like that. And so I'm really excited about that. I want to stick to, now that all of the allies, and this is something I've been thinking about lately, it seems all of the allies have some kind of question response show to do, to focus on, and then now I think we're okay. Like, I don't think we're gonna have any more podcasts or like talkie shows like that. Just think about it. You have Kyle and myself who have the Easy Allies podcast. Every time a question is asked for love and respect, we're always there, other than the 3 episodes, I think, in total that I've missed from the Easy Allies podcast so far. So I've been in over 50. Ben Moore has Frame Trap. Ben is also an Easy Anime, but I really consider Easy Anime in some ways, you know, the gas, I think, of Easy Anime is Brad. And so Brad can definitely focus on that, handle questions, deal with community. Brad's also very involved in the community comments with me, as is Huber. Huber obviously has Huber syndrome, plus the talking syndrome. Now Damiani has his podcast for Nintendo Friend Code, so he's answering questions on there. It's pretty much Dawn, and obviously, you know, Ian communicates through Easy Update, whether it's directly through the community or just artistically. You can kind of like, you know, scrape at Ian's brain a little bit. And so you have a connection with all of us throughout all of the different shows that we're working on. And so now that we all kind of have a forum, and at least once, you know, every week or every other week or every month, we have a time where we need to sit down. Obviously, of course, I'm not mentioning Ben handling the Q&A, and Ben is also involved in collecting all the community comments and putting up those posts on Patreon. So we're all actively engaged in the community. I think we're good. I think our channels are set up. Oh, and Ian now has the movie podcast. It's like we all have our avenues now to get connect with our audience and make it less about like, hey, we're doing a thing, and more like, hey, we're all doing a thing together. We're all having this conversation. Half of the fun, some of the best parts of any Easy Allies podcast we've ever done have been love and respect. Those have been like the best moments. If there's anything that's kind of like the elephant in the room and we don't want to talk about it, and the community's like, what is that elephant doing standing in the room? And we're like, okay, we finally get into stuff on the podcast. And so love that. Love the questions that we get from our community. But we're done. We're not going to do any more of that, because I have seen a lot of sentiment, and it's extremely fair, from a lot of people that have been longtime fans of Easy Allies and people that are just now discovering Easy Allies. They're like, these people talk a lot. Like, they're cool, and their streams are good, and they're personable. Like, they're not making me angry, but they just won't shut up. Like, every time I turn anything on from anywhere, it's like, yeah, a different backdrop and maybe better or worse lighting and sound, but it's still just one of you dudes just sitting down and talking about stuff. So, long story short, BoxPeak will not be that, and BoxPeak will hopefully be the future of us doing more stuff that is not that, and enjoying this new brand that we have called Easy Allies. I'm not wearing the Easy Allies shirt, I thought it was. Called Easy Allies, that allows us to take all of the, you know, creative energy and financial support that we're getting from our community and making cool stuff out of that can help us grow and help more people find out about us and like us, and make something that's generally entertaining for you to watch. Make a show, you know. We do things that we call shows, but hopefully this will actually be a show, a 10-episode season of a show. The first produced by Easy Allies. So congrats to Kyle. I have not read the scripts. I have no idea what happens in that series. I am, just like you, highly anticipating what the hell the pilot is going to be for BoxPeak. Trailer Jones also got hit at 45K. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if this pessimism is good for the community, is good for Easy Allies. I don't think we're going to be at 45K at the end of the month. I don't want to talk down any of the amazing patrons that we've added, any of the amazing support that has happened. It's just a trend. I just see that, you know, part of my job is to look at the numbers, and based on averages of like how much we typically dip by, we're going to slide below that 45K. I think we're going to stay above the 44K, which is great. We're going to do BoxPeak next month. That's awesome. We may also do Trailer Jones. So again, I'm just putting my, you know, chips on the table. I'm just putting my bet that, like, I don't, you know, that would be amazing if we stay above 45K, but I'm not keeping my hopes up. Let me put it that way. I will be incredibly excited to work on the show. That would be an amazing achievement. That would be one of those emotional moments that you think about when we're starting this thing, and we think about like 45K, looking for, oh, we know what 45K is. I'll do my trailer show again. And everyone in the room laughs like, okay, like we're ever going to hit 45K. Here we are. We've done it. You know, I was excited at Christmas of just last year that we hit 40K. I couldn't believe it. And so the support outpouring is incredible. I hope a lot of that comes from new users. I hope that we're not like bankrupting, you know, some of the people that are our most dedicated, loving, loyal fans, because it's for them that I want to produce this stuff more than anything. And a lot of people have been asking for trailer score. Let's all go to the trailers, Trailer Jones. Thought about going back and naming a trailer score, but I think I like Trailer Jones. Obviously, it increases the brand. You know, I got my Twitter account that's called Trailer Jones, and I like identifying with that. And you know, unless you don't know, Jones is a term for liking something, for digging something, sometimes of a sexual nature. But I don't think I've ever had sexual feelings about trailers before. But I do like trailers a lot. I do have what I would consider and classify a Jones for trailers. So I enjoyed the name Trailer Jones. That worked out. My name has been a hindrance in a lot of ways because there are like 20 different Brandon Joneses. It's hard to be unique when you're a Jones. But if I'm going to be the only person that Joneses for trailers, so be it. So what Trailer Jones is going to be, and specifically how it's going to work, is thus. Trailer Jones is not what I don't want Trailer Jones to be, and what I want the community hopefully to inform people of, not debate, not get into arguments, but if people show up and they're like, these guys don't know anything about Warhammer, it's like, it's not an analysis of Warhammer, it's an analysis of Warhammer's trailer. Like, I always want it to be specific. I will swat down any time that Daniel Bloodworth and Kyle Bossman, who are going to be my two co-stars continually on Trailer Jones, any kind of like, well, what I think they're doing with the game here, and it's like, we're not talking about the game, how the mechanics work or what you would do, only in relation to how it's being represented in the actual trailer. So hopefully, I think it's one of the only shows that does that actually like gets into editing and music and production and voiceover, not for the game, but for the trailer, titles, pacing, how that one trailer relates to the rest of the campaign, what have we seen so far, if it's like the standard trailer, what do we see in the teasers, any of it repeated, is any of it contradicted, and that stuff is really exciting for me and unique. It's a conversation I don't feel a lot of people are having. I'd be fascinated to see how many views. I always want to say downloads, but technically it's views. How many views an episode of Trailer Jones will get. So how Trailer Jones will work, unlike a lot of this, you know, bi-weekly, monthly nonsense we're doing, Trailer Jones will be a weekly show, and how we're going to do is we're going to record it at night. We're not going to record it in the same room. Bloodworth and Kyle, whether they're in their apartments or on location somewhere, are going to record locally, and then they're going to send me that file, and then I'm going to cut all of that together. It's going to be the same as Trailer Score, not like Let's All Go to the Trailers. It's going to be one trailer per episode. I think that I know a lot of people really like the format of Let's All Go to the Trailers before, where we would talk about a bunch of trailers all at once and then pick like our favorite trailer from that week. Too much work. I think it's bad for SEO because it doesn't help the show, it doesn't help the episode get around. Like, if we do an episode called, like, Let's All Go to the Trailers, Wartime, you know, and we talk about a bunch of war trailers and talk about what makes a good war trailer, it's like, that show sounds great, you know, and I would love to have the time to do that. But I don't at the moment. What I do have time to do is just doing a one-off thing where we just focus on one trailer and then put that up, and then that just gets caught up in the whirlwind of all the searches for that trailer, not just analysis for the trailer, but that trailer. So it would be called Trailer Jones Far Cry 5 Reveal Trailer, and people searching for Far Cry 5 Reveal Trailer would come up with Trailer Jones and be like, oh, it's this, oh, it's a commentary on the trailer. And hopefully if we keep them short enough, again, if it's not like a 30-minute episode where it's like, we're really going to get into soccer trailers, let's do it, you know, like, I would love to get there some point. Really, legitimately, I would love to do that and analyze, like, you know, boxing trailers and like what's a, you know, like snowboarding, you know, skating trailers. Sky's the limit. But to be realistic, to get it out there fast, to get people watching it, to get the you know, to get the brand out there, I think that's the way to do it. So there'll be one off, there'll be once a week. Once a week in regards to being responsive to other trailers that happen. I will at least pick one trailer. Obviously, during E3, we'll have a couple more. We'll record a bunch at once. But I think we can commit to at least once a week. I just, you know, ring Kyle Bossman and Bloodworth, and I'm just like, tonight at midnight, before you go to bed, let's just sign on for 10 minutes, and we'll record a quick little analysis of the trailer. I also like doing it at night because if a trailer comes out, it gives us a day to react to it. I don't want to do, again, if you're at IGN and a trailer hits, you know, for a new Sonic game, and you're like, we'll have our Sonic guy, grab our Sonic guy, put him on the microphone, have him record an analysis of this trailer right now, the second we got it, before we're even posting it, so we can just be, you know, right there, you know, time, day, and date with the actual release of the trailers. You can watch both of them at the same time. So like, and it feels good because you're kind of reactionary to like, okay, I just watched that trailer. What does it all mean? I just watched the Castlevania trailer for Netflix. Who are these characters? And you know, somebody IGN can be like, I don't know. You know, like that's where we're all at. We're all on the same page. We're not going to do that with Trailer Jones. Basically, what Trailer Jones is you're like, okay, now I know what that Castlevania trailer's like. Now I just got to sit here for the next, 3 months before I either get another trailer for Castlevania or until that show finally comes out. And then the next day you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna watch that trailer again. And you watch the trailer again, and then you watch Trailer Jones. Then we're back the next day with, okay, now that we know, what we know about the story, potentially, if we've done our research, which you can't always count on when it comes to Kyle and myself. Blood doesn't do his research, actually. Blood's got his notebook. You won't see the notebook, but you'll know it's there. If we've done a little analysis, that's great, but mostly, where do we sit now with this campaign? What do we understand now about what this game is, based on what we think it was, what we think it is, what we thought it was before, and what we think they think it is? And that's the most fascinating thing about Trailer Jones to me. It's like, where are they coming from right now? Like, what's your message? Was the message received? Like, is the way the community's reacting right now the way we think they wanted them to react? And that separation is just the best. It's like the dark matter. It's like the space between molecules. It's so fascinating to me because it's this invisible thing, and it's this place where we live for a certain amount of time, and it ends definitively right when a game comes out. Then we all just kind of like, metamorphose into a different kind of gaming community because we're all actively playing the game and experiencing it and sharing our stories and stuff. But like the Zelda that came out before Breath of the Wild and Breath of the Wild that I played, that space in between is Trailer Jones. And I can't believe we're almost there. That's absolutely crazy. So again, I was a little wishy-washy about not hitting the goal before. I don't want that to think about. Just wait till you hear the enthusiasm in my voice in the first episode of Trailer Jones, where I'm just like, yeah, we're back. Like, we made Easy Allies. It was it was a perfect chance for our community to be like, you know what we don't want to see any more of? Trailers. You know what we're sick of? Game trailers. Like, let's focus on something other than game trailers. Leave that brand behind. Make Easy Allies something different. We want to see comedy videos now. I'd be like, okay, like we want to see this stuff. My God, stop doing that. And I get stuff all the time. I feel bad because after we hit the 45K goal, people were like, well, your first trailer's going to be, and it's like, well, hold on, we didn't hit it, so I favorited, but I didn't reply to like any of those tweets where I'm just like, we're not there yet. We're not out of the woods, but we might be, and there might be a golden grassy plain of nothing but trailers waiting to be plucked and analyzed and made fun of. So yeah, one a week. We're recording them at night, putting up the day after. Game analysis, not a trailer analysis, not a game analysis. Oh boy. And the most important thing. I'm going to be adding a $2 tier. I don't want to do this beforehand because I don't want to confuse people, because I do think, again, that 45K marker is tenuous. But if we do hit that 45K, we also just hit Box Peak. That's great. I don't want to steal Kyle's thunder, I kind of want to just work on Box Peak and figure that out, and then work on Trailer Jones. But our community might think otherwise. But if we do manage to hit that, I'm going to add a $2 tier, which I know there's a lot of you that were kind of like, going back and forth between, I was going to say wishy-washy, but that sounded like a negative in that context, between the $1 and $5, which admittedly, like $1 I think makes sense to donate to anything. I think, it's like, I think I can always convince somebody to pay at least $1. Kind of Funny feels the same way. It's like, that's at least $1. But $5, I get that. I saw somebody tweet the other day that they thought $10, they got the return on their investment, and that's incredibly satisfying to hear, and because from my perspective, I don't know. But the $2 is nice because I do hear that a lot from people. That came up at the at our anniversary at the concert a lot, where people were like, I wish you had a $2 tier because I could do that. I could just up to $2, and then that could potentially get a big reaction from our community. Fingers crossed, our Patreon. And what that $2 tier would be is a collection of an aggregation of all of those trailers. So I would, once a week, I'd be like, hey, the week just started, it's Monday, we'll see what trailers came out this week. If you haven't seen them, these were the Trailer Joneses we did last week, where we scored trailers specifically. Go check those out, and let us know in the comments of this thread on Patreon what you think are the trailers this week that we should score. And I'll mention it in the posts, but it'd be nice if you like check the comments before you post, you know, so just like, ooh, that Far Cry reveal trailer came out, and like, don't just post it in the comments, like check in there and see if somebody already did, and then maybe like reply to their post with how you feel about the trailer, or what you think we should specifically focus on, or questions that you have that you want us to answer. And then no promises. If it's a crazy busy week, we'll only, again, I'll do one a week, I promise. But maybe some weeks we'll get to more than one. Maybe some weeks we won't. But we will definitely do that one from that, you know, from that series. I guess it would make sense to do a couple if we're going to get together. So like maybe if we don't get together until later in that week and we have a bunch of clips, it's like, okay, well, let's talk for half an hour instead of 10 minutes and we can bang out a bunch and then release them sporadically. So Trailer Joe's might not be the most timely show that we do. Again, it's not like breaking news, but I do want it to be, I do think it's timely enough, even if it's like 3 or 4 days later, because if we haven't gotten a new trailer for that game, we're still in the same place to just sit down and discuss what that trailer is. And like I mentioned before, that specific analysis of editing and stuff, I don't think is something that you just see a lot of. It's not like we're like getting into a new genre on YouTube where it's like, well, time to get in line. That trailer editing, music production analysis line. So there are new goals. I'm going to put a $2 tier, a little trailer club, and produce one of those a week if we hit that. But more specifically, what I do think we're going to hit, and I can't wait to see, especially some of the stuff that we have working on outside of Easy Allies coming in, is Box Peak. Got to end on Box Peak because it's very cool. It's stuff that it's so exciting because we were actually getting to create something. It's like a lot of the times we produce analysis stuff where it's just like podcast us sitting around. I think about it afterwards, and it's like, was that good? I don't know. That was really long. That was a 3-hour podcast. Was that a good podcast? Because I'm not going to listen to that again. I hope it was. You know, even like a 25-minute retrospective, it's like, is it good? I can't tell. I'm so tired. But little short, you know, like 10-minute episodes, I think they're going to be great. Let me get through E3 plans as quickly as possible, because I spent a lot of time talking about our goals. You're not going to see me as much as you used to during E3. And I mentioned this on some streams. I think I tweeted about it a couple times. But I wanted specifically to talk about it with you because I'm sorry. I know it's only the second year that we've done Easy Allies, but I'm going to try something this year. Part of one of the things that I've thought about a lot since we've started Easy Allies is whenever something comes up, anything, whether it's something that I never thought about doing before, tabletop, mobile, esports, sports itself, you know, like the concept that we don't review a lot of sports games unless Huber likes them, and just a lot of things that we miss out on, that it's like, okay, if we're gonna like branch out like Hydra and like, you know, try to like grab onto something else in the entertainment industry, what is that, and who's the person to connect to, and what's the time to do it? And so I'm so down with experimenting at anything. I would love to go to PAX Australia. I would love to, you know, we've had some events recently that were international, and they were for games that we weren't necessarily that interested in, but it's like, hey, they're paying us to go to this other part of the world. Like, we should just do that. Like, if we have these opportunities, we should try them, we should learn, we should grow in our understanding of not only, you know, how to be better at our jobs, but what Easy Allies is, and what our community is interested in, and how these things work, and how we can do them effectively, and how they've changed since we've done game trailers. And E3 has changed, and I did a version of E3 last year that I had never done before because it was my first Easy Allies E3. I want to do a very different E3 this year, personally, and just try it out and see how it goes and see where it benefits and where it does not. And it involves me going to places and meeting with people. And unfortunately, the way timing works out for E3, that is the absolute worst time to be here and be recording stuff. Case in point, I will be attending both the Microsoft and the EA, and the Sony press conferences. I was previously going to be on EA, but I'm not anymore because I'm an E3 judge, and they specifically contacted me, and they're like, we're going to have an hour or more of specific VIP, brand manager VIP judge access at EA Play. You have to come and go to the press. It's immediately after the press conference. So it's like, I'm not going to be that jerk that shows up at the wedding and just goes to the reception. It's like, okay, I will go to the press conference and see if anybody wants to like talk to me and see if I can meet with anybody and just shake hands, be like, hi, Easy Allies, you know, and just get that word out and put it in the minds of the people in this industry that if you call Easy Allies and you invite us to something, we will show up. And if we can't show up, we will communicate with you. We want to be at these events. Never not ask us to be somewhere. And so that's the whole mantra. It's not like, I know, like on day 5, you're just gonna be like, where the hell is Jones? Like, I know it's gonna seem weird. The other thing too is, a lot of these people come in from LA for the first time, maybe one of the only times that they do that throughout the year, unless it's like a very specific event. If it's a gaming specific event, a lot of people will fly in, go to the event, and fly out. And there's no chance to actually have any kind of conversation with them, with the exception of like a super loud, you know, it's fun to catch up with people at the Destiny 2 event, but it's just like pulsing music and just like really crazy lights. And like, yeah, I can talk with people about it. It was fun to catch up with Andrea Renee, for example, and like talk to you about the success of What's Good Games. And, but not really. I mean, like it was certainly not the same conversation that we would have like over a beer at a bar late at night, you know, relaxed and just trying to like catch up on stuff and you know, being really honest and asking good questions and bumping into weird people. And it's just like that mix that is our industry, that represents all of the crazy people that work here and all of the efforts and things that they're trying to do. And I just think one of us has to be involved in that. Like one of us has to be there and be present. Maybe not all the time, but like I'm going to take a kind of a big swath like approach to this E3 as far as just being like, yes, you party. Yes, I'm there. So there will be a couple of press conferences on Sunday and Monday that I believe I will be here for. Bethesda, I think I will definitely be here for. And unless something comes up, Thursday night, I will do a huge Judge wrap up. I think we're doing Frame Trap that night. I'm going to try to see if I can weasel on Frame Trap. If not, once Frame Trap is over, I will do a thing. If not, if they get tired at like midnight and go home and I haven't had the opportunity, I will continue to stream after, you know, midnight on Thursday night just to sit down and be like, okay, E3's over. Here's my E3. Like, let me just unpack all of the crazy stuff that I saw at the show. Embargoes have lifted. I did see Far Cry 5. Like, I was there at, you know, like, I've seen a lot of Far Cry 5 that you haven't seen. I know a lot more about Far Cry 5 than you don't know. I would love to produce a Far Cry 5 video, but I'm going to try to package a lot of this stuff together so you don't just, like, go to youtube.com/easyallies and it's just like, like all of these videos, 50 E3 Judge videos. So I'm trying to figure out now and working with Bloodworth on like, how do we package this? How do I communicate it? Do I save stuff for Frame Trap? Do I save stuff for the streams? Do I save stuff for when we're live at E3? Because there is a lot to talk about, and there is a lot that I'm going to see that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, even before E3 starts, and a lot of stuff specifically at E3 that is Judge-specific appointments, on top of scheduling stuff for everybody else. So it's just like, I just want to be available for anything that could possibly happen at E3. The Hashtagonist invited me to a party. How am I not going to go to that party? You know what I'm saying? So if I finish E3 this year and I go, you know what? If I wake up Friday morning and I go, God, I just missed those allies. I missed the guys. I missed the reaction. I missed people joking about stuff. I missed, you remember like one of the biggest moments of GT ever. One of the biggest game trailers moments in the history of the company was Michael Huber freaking out about Shenmue. I wasn't there. I was not in that room. I was on the 10 freeway getting off going to an Xbox party during the Sony press conference, like the most epic Sony press conference of all time. And so I'm totally fine with not being there. I love looking from afar and seeing, one of my proudest moments of the anniversary was seeing Brad and Huber do the giveaways at the end of the show and seeing them just naturally deal with fans coming up on stage and talking with them and responding with them and getting them involved and learning about them. And like, that's not easy to do, like a lot of people would freak out at the prospect of like being up on stage in front of all those people and seeing them just really take to it. And seeing Kyle, just come to us with Box Peak, like it's the best. Like, and it's getting to the point where it almost kind of dwarfs my own accomplishments when I see the other cool stuff that the Allies can do. So I am upset if it makes you upset. I'm upset if you're going to miss me at E3 because I won't be around as much. But I'm so damn proud. I'll be there at parties and other events, just watching on Twitch, being like, yeah. And hopefully I'm here representing the brand, talking to people, making cool stuff happen. And if I get up, like, again, if I wake up Friday morning and go, well, that didn't work, and I didn't get my return on all of that time that I spent away from all of this, then good news, E3 Easy Allies, I just called it E3 Allies, 2018, I'll be back, and I'll snub my nose to all the cool parties, and I'll tell my friends I'll see you another time, because E3 is for the Allies. But there's 9 of us. I think that we can spread the love around a little bit, so you will see me at E3, you won't see me as much, and apologies for that. E3 Bets coming soon. We produced that very, very close to E3, and so that's why you haven't seen it. I've seen some people asking us, they're like, yeah, where's Bets? And always remember, if we're doing bets for a thing, we'll probably shoot it 4 days before the thing. So I think we're shooting it Wednesday before the Saturday, the EA press conference, like when E3 begins, basically. Just because if there's any rumors or spoilers or anything, it's easier to weed out before we actually put up the show. Because if we do it now, and then we find out, oh, there's a leak, and now we know about that thing. Okay, and that gets confusing to like cross out bets and stuff. So, coming soon. We don't have an E3 stretch goal. Some people were curious about that because we already hit it. You know, we put up the E3 stretch goal. I don't remember what number it was, and we got above it, and now we're way above that. And so we've purchased those things for E3. We have them, and if we need to purchase more things, we will do that. We are making other investments that you will find out about during E3 and after E3 that we just got. That's where the point where we're at right now with our Patreon. We're so successful that we can take some money every now and then out of our salaries because it all works out evenly, and invest it in cool stuff without having to make a big crazy tier. We kind of keep that stuff more about shows, but we were so close to getting a little bit more for E3 that we definitely needed it last year. But do not need it this year. We'll never need it again. You did it. And I'm going to be at Kinda Funny Live 3, so say hi if you're going to be there. More Cup of Jones is coming soon. And finally, to wrap up this episode, here is a thing that I shot a while ago that's a little tour of our new office. So you can see not only stuff that's going to be handy around E3, but stuff that we were able to spend a little extra money on over the last couple weeks and months and improve the status of the garage. It's hopefully going to act, if you're a Cup of Jones fan, as kind of a sequel to an episode that I did before where I gave you a little tour of the office. So maybe you can go back and watch that episode as well and compare the two and see how far we have come and the various improvements that we've made. I mean, my Infinity figures are on the wall now, so it's nothing but a huge success. And it is a huge success because we have an amazing community. And I mean, I kind of mentioned this before, but I just want to talk again about hitting 44K, hitting 45K, like, making these huge leaps and, shattering records that we didn't think we could previously, do. And it's getting to the point where, like, it's exciting for us. We're getting to do cool things. It obviously works out, for us financially. But at the same time, it just makes me so damn proud to see this thing that this community is building exist in video games and have it just be its own force that's so strong because they are the ones supporting it. Patreon.com itself would have to crash for this thing, to lose momentum based on what we're doing so far. And so it's so rewarding to work on something like that. And my only hope is that I can invigorate the community to feel that way too. Not only investing it, but working on it too. We have mods. We have, people that, work on incredible projects that send it to us. People that, in a lot of ways, people that RP with us because we do tabletop with a specific tier on Patreon. And people that are involved, whether we, encourage them directly or not, so heavily in our community, and they've created such a super awesome thing that is awesome in many ways for its lovingness and its respectfulness, but it also makes a lot of money too, and it's extremely impressive, and I'm so grateful and really proud of you for getting us to this point. So that kicks ass, and I think you should know it from me. You should have got a Cup of Jones sooner than this, but you will have several Cup of Joneses over the next couple weeks leading up to E3, which is coming. I got butterflies in my stomach, but they're good. I'm just like, what am I nervous about? I don't even know. All I got to do is sit around and hang out with my friends and watch all the cool stuff happen. But E3 is just nerves, capital N. I hope you have a wonderful E3. I hope you have a wonderful couple weeks. Prey is out. It's very fun. They send us mugs and toilet paper, which is always nice. It's like candy's good and art and postcards and stuff like that are fun, but like toilet paper, I'll remember that gift for a while. Touche, Prey. Thank you, patrons. Cheers.
Hello, everybody. Here I am in the Easy Allies bathroom. Time to begin our second tour of the Easy Allies headquarters. So let's just take a step into the garage first, and you can kind of see all of the new things that we have added. You might notice some stuff right away if you're familiar with the last time that did a little brief tour of the garage. But let's focus on some specific items. First of all, there is this shelving unit, which is now in the corner, which was definitely not there before. I had some shelves over there, and then when I was debating on new stuff to get for the garage, I looked in that space and was like, all I have in that corner is just a big poster of Yellow Submarine. Why do I not have shelves going, almost all the way to the ceiling? And so picked up the new shelving unit, and we have all sorts of fun stuff stored here. Obviously, Animal Crossing Amiibo, but also got my, CDs over here, DVDs, stuff that, various pieces of equipment that were left over from GT and beyond. And, of course, on the very top shelf, a smattering of gifts that we have gotten from sponsors and fans. Some stuff that people have yet to receive, and some stuff that we have yet to use. It's always just kind of a nice reminder, that top shelf. They're like, ah, yes, we were given that gift, that card game, that thing that we need to work on. Here is our brand new mixer. Our mixer is fun because this is the thing that we now use for shows. So we kept our old mixer, and we use the old mixer for streams, and now this is the mixer that we use exclusively for shows. What's very exciting about this mixer is it divides all of the individual tracks from all of the mics up, and so you get one track per mic. And so before, our mixer would do all the mixing itself, and then, once we got to the recording that went back into the camera, all of that was mixed together, and there were just a couple of issues with the sound that we didn't like. And so now the audio is recorded completely separately on its own, so you get the direct source of all of the audio going into that mixer and being recorded. There's our old mixer. So it's fun for many reasons. It gives us lots of opportunities to change the audio individually, track by track. It's always good to have more information as an editor and know, when certain things start and stop on very specific mics, not just here. I like to track the waveforms, and so it's nice being like, Kyle just started talking. I bet that's where, he started talking about bets, so I know that's where I can write the time code down for that. I also took almost all of my art down that I had up from various interests and things that I had done in the past, and replaced almost all of it with Easy Allies art. So there I have my wonderful Red Dead Revisited poster from K Murdoch, and I got our character select screen from a fighting game that never was, even though at this point we have played a fighting game starring all of us. Another K special, Easy Allies Entertainment System cover. It felt really good framing these and putting these up because it made the space more of an Easy Allies space, and I definitely want all of the gents to feel at home when they come here and look up and remember all of the nice things, the many gifts and warm feelings that we have gotten from our community, and the very weird things that they put together. Some of these pictures are old, some of these are new, but they are all from the first year of Easy Allies. And then in the back here we have our shelves, and we had the shelves before, but again, much like the picture frames, the shelves had a lot of things that I was familiar with. It was from my past that I thought was cool. My Pez collection, my, various toy Batmobiles and so forth. And so what's been really fun is now those shelves back there are completely full with only things that we have been given by our fans and sponsors. And so it's fun to look back there and see all of these items that we have accrued only from just 1 year of operation of Easy Allies. And so it's neat to see all that stuff. There's a story behind every little piece of it. Thank you to everybody that has sent this stuff, obviously other than buttons. There's the plaque that Patreon gave us for hitting 5,000. One thing that I enjoy about that plaque is it came out of the box broken. The corner of the glass is chipped a little bit, so we are literally breaking records here at Easy Allies, or at least breaking the objects that are supposed to symbolize those records. I have blocked out these windows, which might look a little weird, but these were just thin windows that a lot of light was coming in through. If you go back and watch the early episodes of all of our stuff, you can see the stuff that was recorded in the afternoon, a lot of times tabletop, frame trap, fiasco knots, stuff like that, had various weird light things happening. Sometimes we keep the door open to keep the air flowing when it's very hot, but if it's a shoot where we can close that door, it's always nice to not have the sun creeping in and messing up all the lighting. And so that was bugging me for a while, and I finally got some curtains and got my staple gun out and sealed that all up. I got these little cubbies over in the corner here. So this was previously a bamboo table that I got from my mom's house that my monitor was sitting on. And now I got these little cubby hole things, just 4 little pockets here that the allies can place their objects when they're not able to take them home, or, Kyle keeps his D&D stuff here, so if he just needs to have that on hand and not worry about leaving it, or just in general, if the guys show up and they got a bag and they want to put it somewhere, they could previously just kind of jam stuff under the table that was there, but when I went to do my IKEA trip and picked up this large shelving unit, I got a couple other shelving units and this little cubby unit. This is another shelving unit that I bought. This was a small table that all this stuff was sitting on top of. Please ignore the date of when I shot this. I shot this a couple weeks ago. But this shelving unit was a little taller, so you might see our eyes, wandering up a little higher than they used to when we're looking at chat. But it's so nice, probably one day pass on a lot of these consoles, that 3DO does not work, that Atari Jaguar does not work, but I just like seeing old consoles. It reminds me of the history that I have in this industry, not necessarily in the industry itself. Thank you to Luke Arnold for providing us these wonderful Black Sails shot glasses, which now house the cards that we use for our mixer and for our camera. So if we need to go grab a card, be it 64, 128, 32, whatever size it is. We have those by the mixer and by the camera, so we can just grab those and throw those in. Very importantly, I now have a very specific position for all of my LEGO Dimensions figures. These are all of the figures released so far for LEGO Dimensions. These are not all of the vehicles released so far. These are only the vehicles that I feel are pertinent. So there's the weird, there's a couple of weird Lord of the Rings ones. Obviously all of the Chimera, the Ninjago. There's a lot of vehicles that are not very close to me emotionally that unfortunately went into a box and are now in storage. But I just don't need to call upon them that often when I'm playing LEGO Dimensions, but I definitely need to grab other characters, so it's nice to have them back there out of the way. A lot of them were hanging out up in front of the TV, and while I loved looking at them, they did kind of make the place look cluttered. And I've shown this before, but it never gets old. I finally got all my Disney Infinity figures up. We have this amazing new Breath of the Wild clock that we were given by a fan and patron. We've also done a little bit of soundproofing to try to keep the audio a little bit balanced, to try to keep a lot of the noise inside here in the garage. Mr. Ian Hank went out and purchased a lot of these panels and put them up in places that we think are effective. It's not always easy to hear those differences. I think my favorite thing is just having the wall in front of us, behind the camera, behind the TV, having a big wall of panels there, I think definitely makes a difference in absorbing the sound and not having our voices bounce all over the place. But I am totally fine with putting these. It will make the place a little warmer, but it's always nice. And one of the things nice about putting these panels up, but also just having more furniture in the room, is any other object you add into this room will soak up that sound and make it sound a little more natural, make it sound like we're not in some giant auditorium somewhere. It is a little bit tricky to see, but I've also knocked out, similarly to how I did the lights, I knocked out the skylights up above. We had two skylights coming in that you could probably most effectively see during a lot of Daniel Bloodworth streams in the afternoon when he would come over. He would have a very unflattering light, beaming down on him from above. And so we wanted to be in a little more control of where our lights are and where they're pointing. And so I knocked out those spaces, got some poster board, and hammered that in to block the light coming in from above. Here are our wonderful shotgun mics that we use for our group stream, along with this blue Yeti mic that sits on a stand and goes in the back of the couch. Again, I've showed that stuff off before, but it's fun. It definitely makes a difference in how everything sounds and how everything operates. And last but not least, I will do a Cup of Jones detailing more of the specifics of the booth and the sound. Maybe it might be fun to record something outside the booth and record something inside the booth. I'm recording inside the booth right now, which is fun. Got my laptop propped up here and watching this video that I shot and doing commentary over it. Yeah, you can see some storage going on up above. We got our werehugs up there. We got our marbles, all of my Lego figures. And let's just take a quick trip. It's not super exciting inside the booth to look at stuff, but you can see just barely we got the microphone that I have set up. It's still my little tiny mic, MIC mic that is portable, that I'll take with me to events and stuff like that. One of the things that's been nice about the booth too is it is also I'm currently using as storage for all of the microphones that we use on the table and on our stands during our shows. And so instead of having to take a lot of that stuff down, I can just pick it up and place it in the booth. When the mics are on the longer arm stands that we use for the podcast, I'm able to put the little table mic stands in here, and it's nice to have a place where they can live. Basically just got a big shelf in here, got an old hard drive reader that my laptop sits on, so it's tall enough so I can read stuff at eye level, and a little bit of cables in here, but like I said, mostly these mic stands. There's a backpack in there that has all of our headphones, and it's a little messy. Got to do a little cleanup in here, but just started using the booth finally, so I figured give you a little peek inside, and I might do some demonstrations later to just kind of show what a difference it makes to be in an enclosed space and be recording stuff that way. So there it is. I hope this was informative. I hope it kind of helps to get a different perspective. A lot of times you're looking from one side of the room at us in the other side of the room, and it might be nice to kind of be in the booth and stare out and see what that looks like, or be sitting at my chair, be sitting on the couch, and see what life looks like from that perspective, because that's where we live. That's what we see most of the time. And so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Cup of Jones, and I will be back with another episode of Cup as soon as possible. Thanks, patrons. Cheers.